Hey everyone and welcome back. In today's video we'll be discussing about the AWS Service Catalog. Now AWS Service Catalog in definitive terms basically enables the organization to create, manage the catalog of IT services that are approved for the use on AWS. Now this can be better understood with a sample use case that we have. So let's say you are working as a DevOps or as a solutions architect in an enterprise. And now what happens is you will typically see that there are a lot of developers, and developers would need their EC2 instances to do their development testing. Now what typically happens is that if you give them the full access, typically what they'll do is that they launch their EC2 instances based on various types. Like you will have Ubuntu, someone will launch CentOS, someone will even launch Red Hat. I still remember that one of the developers in the organization that I have been working with, for development environment, he actually launched a Red Hat instance. And we did not really know during that time, but at the end of monthly cycle, we just realized that there is a software subscription charges for Red Hat, and we just monitored. And it was quite interesting as well as quite funny. And when we asked him like why you have launched Red Hat, he said like Red Hat is known for stability. So you'll have some people who will have a very non-standard stack. So basically if you see over here, there is no specific standard over here. Now, one of the issues along with that is that when developers launch their own EC2 instances, they'll typically attach a security group of 0000, which is both inbound and outbound. So not only there is a standardization issue, but there is also a security issue. So what you need is you need the standardization, you need security, and you also need developer to be able to launch their instances quickly, because otherwise you'll have to give them the documentation on how they can launch a EC2 instance and so on. Along with that, again, typically what happens here is that developer will never launch an instance with a t2.micro. They launch a m5.large, m5.xlarge, and big instances which are not required, and most of them will have a underutilized resources. So again, you need to have the cost saving factor as well. And with AWS Service Catalog, you will be able to achieve all of these. So let's go into the demo. In this demo, what we'll be doing is we'll try to launch an instance based on Service Catalog with a user, which we'll assume to be a developer. So currently I have a user called as test user. Now, if this test user wants to create a EC2 instance, then what he'll have to do, he'll have to go to the EC2 console. He'll have to click on launch instance. From launch instance, he'll select the appropriate AMI. Then he'll select the appropriate instance type. Let's keep t2.micro. Then he'll not know on which VPC that he has to launch. Like he should be launching the EC2 instance in private subnet. He would not know about the elastic IPs. He would not know about the IAM role that needs to be associated with the EC2 instance and so on. So what he'll do is he'll put the random values over here and he'll go ahead and launch the EC2 instance. So that is not a very correct way. So instead of doing things manually, what now he can do is he can go to a service catalog. Let's type it out. I'll select service catalog. Now in this service catalog under the product list, you will see that I have a product name called as development EC2 instance. So this is created by the administrator. If you see over here, the owner is security team. So all developer has to do, he has to click here on the product name, which is development EC2 instance, and he can go ahead and he can launch the product. So he'll have to give the name. So let me say as dev EC2 instance 01. He has to select the version which is for development. Do a next. Within the parameter, he can go ahead and give the name of the developer. Let me give it as Zeal here. Let's do a next. We'll ignore this. We can go ahead and we can click on launch. And that's about it. Now what will happen in the backend is that there is a CloudFormation template. Now CloudFormation template already has a stable template based on which the resources would be created. So now let's quickly go to the EC2 instance. Now here we see that we have a EC2 instance which is up and running. Now typically if you look into the security group, there is a security group called as dev security group, which is associated with the EC2 instance. Let me click over here. And associated with the security group, if you look into inbound is restricted over here. And if you look into outbound is also restricted. So what we have done is we have standardized the AMI ID from which the EC2 instance will be launched. We have standardized the instance type based on which the instance will be launched. We have standardized the security group as well. And you can even standardize various things like IAM role, etc., which is required for the development EC2 instance. So not only it becomes easier for you as an administrator or as a security person, it also becomes easier for the developer, because now developer do not really need to know on how to create a EC2 instance, or if required, if this EC2 instance is based on high availability, how to create a load balancer, connect the EC2 instance with load balancer, etc. All of those can be defined by the DevOps team, and all the developer has to do is that he has to create his own product from the service catalog. So now if you see over here, this specific EC2 instance, the status is now succeeded. This is specific the CloudFormation Stack ARN. Now once he has done working with his EC2 instance, if he wants to terminate, you can go to actions, you can click on terminate and select here. So it says the terminate action has been started, and what will happen basically is that you see the instance is getting shut down and then it will be terminated. So it is quite a easier solution for both the developers as well as the SysOps team working within your organization. So this is the high level overview about the service catalog. In the next video, we'll look into, I hope this video has been informative for you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.